Hey, it's Marie, and welcome to another episode of the Marie Forleo podcast and Marie TV, the place to be to create a business and life you love. Now, if you ever get inspired by hearing about other people's success, but then simultaneously kind of feel like crap that you're either too old or that you've missed the boat and that life has just passed you by, you are going to love today's episode. Our question today comes from Farah, who writes, "Hi, Marie. I was watching an episode of your show recently, and it made me both happy and sad. Sometimes when I hear other successful women's stories, I feel so behind. At 46, I'm still trying to get to the things I really want to do. Don't get me wrong, I have a wonderful husband, kids, my own business, family, and friends, but I'm still not expressing a lot of the creative ideas I have in me. I wonder if time has run out and I'll never get to do all the things I want to do. So my question is, how do you deal with the fear that life has passed you by?" Farah, thank you so much for this question. It is such a common experience, especially for ambitious, multi-passionate creatives like us, people who have so many ideas, right? And so many gifts and experiences that we want to have during our relatively short time on planet Earth. So first up, let me tell you, you said, "I wonder if time has run out." No! Woman, your time has not run out. Those are 100% facts. And the reason we know that is true is because you're still alive and you're still breathing. Am I right? And to be super honest, 46 in today's world, that is still really young. And if you're taking good care of yourself, both inside and out, you have barely crossed the halfway mark, which means that God willing, you've got decades and decades of possibility and creation in front of you. So now let's answer your question. How do you deal with the fear that life has passed you by? So there are two simple steps that you can take right now to make sure that all of your remaining months and years will be as creatively fulfilling as humanly possible. Step number one, I want you to write down all of those things that you say you really want to do. So in your question, Farah, you shared, "But I'm still not expressing a lot of the creative ideas I have in me. I worry I'll never be able to do all the things I want to do." So my suspicion here is that you actually have loads of ideas swirling around in your head, or just fragments of things that you fantasize about or that you get seduced by, but you've never actually taken the time to write all of your creative ideas down so you can look at them objectively in one place. So look, whether this takes you like 20 minutes or 3 hours or 4 days, I don't care. I want you to get everything out of your head and clarify it on the page. Why is that? First, because we actually need to know, like, how many creative ideas are we really dealing with here? Is it 10? Is it 76? Is it 2047? We don't know until you write each of them down very clearly and specifically. And second, I promise you this, writing everything down is going to feel like this enormous creative colonic, right? It's going to unclog and release so much of the angst and the fear and the worry that's been stagnating inside of you. Now look, once you have all of your ideas out of your head and onto the page, you are ready for step number 2, which is decide what's most important to you at this stage and season of your life. Our priorities can and should change as we grow and evolve, right? I mean, the creative projects or the things that we want to focus on, they're going to be different depending on whether we're a teenager or we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and so on. It's also going to be very different depending on our life circumstances, our health, our family responsibilities, like that. So I want you to take a look at your big list, right, of all your creative ideas. And really, I need you to get real with yourself. So out of everything that you wrote down, what is the single most important project that you want to focus on this year? What is truly most important to you creatively at this current stage and season of your life? I don't want you to listen to your head now. I need you to tap into your heart. So for example, from 2018 to 2019-ish, the very most important creative project for me at that time was writing and publishing Everything is Figure Outable, right? So I consciously decided that that was the most important creative project, and that decision allowed me to focus on that and hardly anything else. Then, when I think back to the beginning of 2021, I decided that my most important creative project for me for the next about 6 months was going to be giving birth to my Time Genius program, which, by the way, you should really join. It's open right now. And in that program, I show you exactly how to decide what's most important to you. And then I give you all of my personal tools and my practices so you can actually get it done. If you want to learn more, you can check it out at jointimegenius.com. The bottom line is really this: deciding what's most important for you to create at this specific stage and season of your life, whether that's the next 6 months, 12 months, 36 months, doesn't really matter. Once you know what's most important to you right now, it becomes so much easier to ignore what's not. Now, of course, once you have that decision, Farah, then you have to take consistent, committed action to bring that project to life no matter what it is. And here's the best part. That part of the equation, it's not super complicated, but you do need a system in order to get it done. And there are certain tricks and science-backed strategies that I personally use, especially as someone who's multi-passionate, as someone who has an ADHD brain, to really get my most important projects done in record time. And once again, that's all my Time Genius program, right? So if you want my help with that, just go to jointimegenius.com. We'd love to have you. Last but not least, you asked, how do you deal with the fear that life has passed you by, right? Emphasis on fear. I want to remind you of something we talk about in Everything is Figure Outable, and it's super applicable here. So the best way that I've ever found to deal with the fear of anything is by taking action. Now for you, that means complete the 2 steps that we just talked about and then take consistent action toward your most important creative dream for this year. Because in my experience, action is the antidote to fear. Action metabolizes fear. It transforms it. It transmutes it into learning and growth and fulfillment. And before long, you're going to be so busy living those creative dreams that it wouldn't even occur to you that you could possibly be missing out on anything. Promise. So that was my A to your Q, Farah. I really do hope it helps. And I need you, woman, to start taking action now. Get yourself into Time Genius if it's the right fit for you. And of course, always let me know how it goes. Now, I would love to hear from you. I'm super curious. So what's the most important creative project that you are focused on at this stage and season of your life? And tell me, I want to know about the difference it's going to make in your life and possibly even the lives of others once you get it done. Let me know all that good, juicy info in the comments below. And by the way, if you enjoyed this episode and you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button right now because it really does help our channel. And if you're more into podcasts, please subscribe wherever you get your favorite shows so we can continue to bring you loads of inspiration and motivation. Until next time, stay on your game and keep going for your big dreams because the world really does need that very special gift that only you have. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time on Marie TV and the Marie Forleo podcast. Success in business really requires 2 qualities that grow as we get older: stamina and maturity.